Do you know you can be an expert in Power BI in less than a week if you are serious? So I'll give you an example of how Power BI works. Power BI is like Excel on steroids. So what it
Mm,
means is, you see Excel, you get data and then you use that data. Excel was basically using for analyzing data. Sindio? Excel is best for
mm.
analyzing data. But analyzing data is only one bit of the story. You have to analyze the data and tell the story of that data. Sindio? Anyway, so I was explaining to you about how
About Power
no,
BI.
how AI is transforming people's lives. They just don't know it. So this is an example. I do a lot of analysis because in my research role, I do a lot of analysis for marketing efforts. I do a lot of analysis for products that we're trying to launch. So previously we used to do a lot of Excel modeling. What you do is you're trying to launch, you're doing a campaign for SMS blast. You're saying we're telling people. Say, I'll give an example of something in the maybe in the financial industry. A company issues an announcement that they made profits, right? So, and my organization, what we would do is we want people to trade. So we'll do a notification and tell them, guys, this company announced profits and these are the dividends. That's an SMS blast. And then we'll also do an email campaign. Now, how do you as a marketer analyze performance on that? What you do initially without Power BI, you'd go to the reporting tool of email marketing platform. Maybe we are using MailChimp. So you'd go and you will get MailChimp. MailChimp will give you a dashboard showing how many people clicked, how many people opened, how many people maybe shared or liked, or what was the interactions, right? You can get it as a dashboard, or if you want to analyze it better, you can get it as an Excel sheet. You can get it as an Excel sheet. You can get it in whatever file format. What you would do initially, if you wanted to dig deeper, because maybe your boss wants to see what is actually the actual maybe period that people take to read, and those data are usually held in an Excel format or CSV format. You would pull that data, but most people don't do it. But if you wanted to do deeper, what people don't know is that dashboard they see is just that data Excel sheet analyzed, right? Now, assuming you don't have Mailchimp, you are doing SMS campaign. So that means that you don't have a dashboard that can show you, unless you're using a very sophisticated tool, which most companies don't have money to pay for. You only pay for the SMS subscription. But you wanted to know, I sent an SMS containing a link. I want to know how many people clicked that link. I want to know what action people took. We call that you want to attribute the marketing effort to the effort the customer, the marketing to the effort the customer did. You want to understand if actually your campaign was impactful. So what would you do? You would go to the platform of the service provider that offers the SMS blast. What they would do is they will show you how many people have blocked you. They'll show you how many people received the message, and they'll show you how long it took to send those messages to those people. So you can use that data will be in an Excel sheet. So you get that Excel sheet, and then you get now, assuming the app you are selling this was maybe a dividend information. You had a click for people to go and see the actual dividend list of companies paying dividends. You can now go to your website and again extract that data to show how many clicks were having. Now, if you wanted to bring this data together, before previously with Excel, it was near impossible, because you would have a dashboard for MailChimp, you would have the Excel sheet for SMS Blast, then maybe if you are lucky, a dashboard from Google. But bringing them together would be hard. So it is hard to tell a story. Now, what Power BI allows you to do is all these data sets I've told you at the back end. They use data from somewhere to develop a dashboard. By the way, how now they develop that is now a career people would call UX design or data scientists. So data scientists are the ones who are at the back end, allowing that Excel sheet to manipulate the data to present it in visually. But now Power BI allows you to be that analyst, or that it's called, as Power BI actually means Power Business Intelligence. So, and it's actually a product by Microsoft. Now, why do I say Power BI is going in the near future to replace Excel? Excel allows you to only collect data and analyze data. Power BI allows you to collect the data, analyze the data, and visualize the data. And in fact, right now, it can even give you inferences on that data. Like it can tell you what this data means or what this data could be saying through AI. And there are several things that you can do. So now I am saying Power BI, I've been using Power BI and I've seen how how this whole evolution of AI is coming faster than people are noticing. Previously, I had to take a 6-month certification or a 6-month course to become a Power BI expert. Now, guess what? Today, I can go download Power BI, go to ChatGPT, Anthropic, or DeepSeek and tell them, I have data on customers SMS blast. I have data, and even put it in the fields. I have data in the customer data. I have customer data. In fact, you can start with, I want to analyze the performance of my campaign. And then what do? You tell it, this is the data sets I have. I have data on my mailing tool, which contains name, number of clicks, how many people clicked, how many people rejected, how many people have unsubscribed. I have another data set that contains SMS blast, how many people it went, how many people it sent to, and how many people blocked me. I have another data set that contains the clicks on my link that was in the SMS and in the email. And then you ask ChatGPT, help me using Power BI to generate a dashboard for my supervisor and guide me on the steps. Do you know, with the current model of ChatGPT, it will tell you all the way from how you can make this data. Actually, the way you guide it can tell you what insights you are able to derive, like summary sasa in your reporting, summary, the insights you're able to derive. Then it will tell you how that data can be analyzed through Power BI, and it can even give you additional ideas on the visuals that you can generate. Like I'm telling you, in Power BI, in Excel sheet, there are formulas you have to create, especially when you're analyzing growth, you're analyzing performance. In Power BI, they are called DAX. The formula is called DAX measures. You have to create measures because it does not calculate, it does not understand, it only sees numbers. So you create measures to calculate maybe people who opened versus people who didn't open, and then you create a percentage. Now, with ChatGPT, of course, it reaches a point and it's like you are at your limit. You have to pay now to to get more data, but it can actually create that data. So I'm telling you, any person who is maybe probably a marketing analyst or an analyst in any company, you can actually even use ChatGPT to understand. I want to understand, maybe we are a bank. You have this sales data, we have these investments. I want to use ChatGPT to use whatever tool. It can even tell you on Excel to generate data that will be insightful for yourself and for your boss. So with ChatGPT, back to the Power BI, now you're using Power BI, ChatGPT, and then because Power BI allows you to do visuals, you are able to get even the exact formulas to develop for your specific tool, and then generate a report and share it with your boss. This can be done. A report that would have taken you 3 weeks, you can do it in a day. And that is the power of AI. And this is in just one application. Now imagine if you could just try to explore the tools you already have in whatever area you are in. Maybe you are a creative designer. You use maybe you're told by a client, you're given by a client, maybe you're supposed to create maybe a flyer for a client. They give you an old flyer and they're like, help me replicate this. Do you know it is possible with that flyer, if you're creative enough, to put that flyer to generate insights on how to make a flyer similar to that by using the existing AI platforms. Now, I don't know what platforms you will be using in your industry, but with the existing AI softwares, you just need to be creative and make an investment into understanding the AI tools. Because even right now, assuming you are a creator and you're using Canva, it is possible for Canva to also help you generate creative ideas without you even being a creative. So you can say, I want a flyer that looks like this. Canva or any other creative tool can do that. Or you're saying, I want to make this flyer look more attractive. It can give you like 3 suggestions. Of course, now it's not good, but I can bet you 6 months from now, you'll be able to create a very good image just from saying a prompt. You won't even need to actually be very good at design. Now, this works for both novice people in an industry as well as experts. For a novice, it allows you to break into an industry that you are not able to break to through initially. Like I told you, took me almost 6 months to a year to learn Power BI. Now somebody can learn Power BI in a week. Now, of course, that would also mean that my output is not the same as the output of the person starting Power BI in a week. But what I'm saying is, if you are serious, you can cut the time for learning in any skill set that you want, from if it was 1 year to even a week, as long as you put in the time. What people also need to appreciate and learn is all these tools are available. All these tools are, some of them are free, some of them are paid. But all these tools at the end of it all can serve whatever need you have. All you just need to do is put in the time and learn. AI does not mean that you will not you don't have to learn about a skill set, or you don't have to learn something. So when I hear people saying it's going to replace graphic designers, you need first of all to even understand the basics of how a graphic design tool works. You need to understand the basics of how Excel works. You need to understand the basics of how your business or your area of expertise, like a doctor cannot derive, if I were to if I were to, assuming I am sick, if I were to use a large language model to diagnose my disease, I can assure you it would likely give me a wrong diagnosis because of the way I would ask the questions. But if I were a doctor and I went to a large language model and asked the questions, I would get better, more specific diseases to solve a client's need than me, because he or she might have an idea on how exactly to structure a question to get the output that they desire. But I just like that was just something I wanted to share about, especially what AI is doing in people's lives. But most people are ignorant, or they don't fully understand what potential these solutions have, in their lives, in their professions, and even in the countries that they live in. Yeah.